Court fixes November 14 for response to summon arraignment of Yahaya Bello. Jos poultry farmers, egg retailers lament as businesses collapse. Away from Nigeria, several injured after Norway passenger train derails. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's news update. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Thank you for joining us. 3 persons have been confirmed dead after a helicopter crashed in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, on Thursday. The accident occurred at 11:22 a.m. along the waterways in Port Harcourt when the helicopter, Sikorsky SK-76 with registration 5NBQG and operated by East Wind Aviation, was en route from Port Harcourt's military base to the New Mountain oil rig. A spokesperson for the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Odutayo Lusheyi, said 8 persons were on board. The aircraft ditched into the waters near Boni Finima in the Atlantic Ocean, the authority said in a statement, adding that rescue efforts have been activated. The ministry said the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, NSIB, and neighboring aerodromes have been notified, adding that search and rescue operations have commenced with the support of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority and other relevant agencies. In the meantime, the ill-fated helicopter had personnel of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and NPCL on board. The NPCL spokesman, Olufemi Shonoye, in a statement, confirmed that the helicopter operated by East Winds Aviation was engaged by the NNPCL. No fewer than 4 persons have been killed after suspected cultists on Thursday morning invaded Ifitoka area behind the Nnamdi Azikiwe University Awka school gate. Eyewitnesses said gun-wielding hoodlums invaded that axis around 9:30 a.m. on Thursday and opened fire on some persons suspected to be members of a rival cult group, thereby causing chaos and panic in the area. Reports say the attacking suspected cultists were looking for members of the rival cult group who were said to be hanging around the vicinity of Unity School Gate. The state public police relations officer, Tuchukwu Ikenga, in a statement, disclosed that a team of policemen have taken over the scene of the shooting. According to him, preliminary information showed that the armed men, unprovoked, started shooting sporadically, adding that some bullets fatally hit 4 persons in the area who were rushed to the hospital for aid by the police operatives. Meanwhile, the Anambra State Police Command has said it has started investigations into some intercepted videos and voice notes on social media space threatening violence in the state. The Minister of Defense, Muhammad Baduru, has ordered troops of Operation Fansayama to arrest the notorious bandits leader, Bello Turji. The minister gave the order while addressing the troops at the 1 Brigade headquarters in Guzo, Zamfara State. He added that President Bola Tinubu has been following the activities of the troops in the past few months and has seen some levels of improvement in the operation against terrorists in the region, but said challenges are still there. The Defense Minister visited the Operation Fansarayama in Gusau to take briefings on military operations. The minister was received by the Commander, Joint Task Force Northwest Operation, Major General Oluyinka Shoyele, the Deputy Governor of Zamfara State, Mani Mumun, among other dignitaries. Security. The commander of the 6th Brigade of the Nigerian Army, Jalingo, Taraba State, Brigadier General Kingsley Chidiberowa, has said the fight against terrorism remains one of the top priorities of the military. He said the troops will make every effort to ensure the safety and protection of the lives and property of the good people of the state and Nigerians at last. Uwa stated this in a statement made available to journalists in the state on Thursday while announcing the giant strides made by the troops of the command, urged the general public to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activities to the relevant law enforcement agencies. The suspects were, according to him, were apprehended on October 22, 2024 during a raid at a local hotel in Mayodesa area of Jalingo metropolis, where they were hiding Ali Idi and Haruna Umar. Justice Miriam Anini of the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Maitama, Abuja, on Thursday adjourned till November 14 for arraignment of the defendants in response to the summons issued by the court for the immediate past governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. He is to appear before it for arraignment on the fresh 16-count charges brought against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The adjournment was fixed on the request of the prosecution counsel, Rotimi Edipo SAN, who stated that at the last adjourned date, the court had issued a public summons against Bello, directing that same be published and the charge be pasted. Justice Anini, however, interjected, stating that she did not ask that the charge be pasted, but only the summons. Oyedepo explained to the court that he expected the first defendant to be in court on November 14th, making reference to the 30-day duration of the summons, and therefore sought adjournment till November 14th for the arraignment of all three defendants. President Bola Tinubu has asked the Senate to screen and confirm 7 ministerial nominees. The executive communication is contained in a letter read by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, during plenary session on Thursday. The request has been referred to the Committee of the Whole for expeditious consideration. The President made the new appointment following the dismissal of 5 ministers in a cabinet reshuffle that took place on Wednesday.
I am pleased to forward to the Senate the underlisted 7 nominees for confirmation as ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They are Dr. Nentawe Jilwada, Muhammadu Maigari Dingyadi, Bianca Odinaka Odumegu Ojukwu, Right Honorable Yusuf Abdullahi Atta, Idi Mokhtar Mahai, Dr. Jumoke Oduwale, Suwaba Said Ahmad, PhD. While I hope that this request will receive the usual expeditious consideration of the Senate, please accept, distinguished Senate President and distinguished senators, the assurances of my highest regards. Yours sincerely, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President, Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This correspondence is referred to the Committee of the Whole for consideration as soon as possible.
Over in the Green Chamber, the House of Rep has asked the Central Bank of Nigeria to make available more new notes of 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1,000 naira denominations, as well as begin a gradual withdrawal of the old notes from circulation. The House also asked the CBN to direct commercial banks to issue more new notes to customers and engage in gradual mopping up of the old notes. In a resolution following a motion of urgent national importance by Adam Victor Ogene LP, Labour Party, Anambra, the House said the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, should kickstart awareness programs for Nigerians to be aware and prepare for the deadline of December 31st, 2024. Leading the debate on the motion, Ogene recalled the hardship, frustration, controversy, and chaotic situation occasioned by the Central Bank of Nigeria CBN's change of currency in 2023 that affected validity of the old 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1,000 naira notes at the time that resulted in litigations. He also recalled that the scarcity of the new currency notes led to the untold hardship in the nation as a result of the CBN's inability to supply new versions of the changed currency notes. He expressed concerns the CBN has not shown any sign of sensitization or kick-started any awareness program to remind Nigerians about this important economic policy in order to make them prepare for the deadline of 31st December 2024. He said Nigerians will be plunged into more chaotic situations than what happened in February of 2023 when the old notes shall cease to be legal tender and medium of exchange for goods and services as from January 1, 2025. The Managing Director and CEO of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFund, Akintunde Sawyer, has announced that the fund has received over 350,000 applications and disbursed over 10 billion naira with a commitment to distribute 90 billion naira in tuition fees and stipends. Speaking at a meeting with the House of Representatives Committee on Student Loans, Scholarships and Higher Education Financing in Abuja, Sawyer emphasized the scheme's inclusivity, ensuring that all Nigerians, regardless of location or background, have access to education. Sawyer highlighted proactive efforts to engage regions like the Southeast, previously feeling left behind, through sensitization initiatives, which led to a surge in applications. Chairman of the committee, Ibrahim Isiaka, commended NELFund's role in creating opportunities for Nigerian youth and encouraged the fund's management to be forward-thinking, urging them to outline their goals and strategies for the next 3 to 5 years.
With 70% of our population under the age of 35 failing to provide access to education for this segment exposes Nigeria to a future fraught with instability and violence. This intervention by President Tinubu could not have come at a better time.
What are the lessons that we want to learn from institutions like this so that we don't again go into their errors? How do we ensure that the extant laws, for instance, the Nigerian Constitution, section 80 to 83, the Nigerian Education Loan, law that was passed, how do we ensure, and then the Financial Regulations Act, how do we ensure that we properly and ensure that we comply with all of these laws?
Still on education matters, the Association of Senior or Staff Further Union of Universities, ASU Gombe State University chapter, has suspended its 6-week strike over a litany of unmet demands, including an improved welfare package. The lecturers suspended their strike, which commenced on September 11, 2024, after a meeting held on October 24, 2024. In a notice on Thursday, the university chapter of ASU said the industrial action was put on hold based on the agreement with the state government. The notice was co-signed by Suleiman Jauro, the state ASU chairperson, and Mustafa Muhammad, the union's state secretary. They said the union reviewed an update on the negotiation between the state government negotiation committee and the branch. Academic activities are to resume immediately. This is still news update on Trust TV. Up ahead. Jos poultry farmers, egg retailers lament as businesses collapse. The story more when we return. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Now a recap of our top stories. We told you that 3 dead as helicopter crashes in Port Harcourt. We also informed you that court fixes November 14th for response to summon arraignment of Yahaya Bello. Poultry farmers and egg retailers in Jos, the Plateau State capital, are lamenting the high cost of living in the country, saying the situation is forcing them out of business. The Trust TV's Adomusa, who spoke with them, reports that the farmers urgently need support to stay afloat. Here's his report.
The Poultry Association of Nigeria warned that if urgent steps are not taken to support poultry farmers, prices of eggs may increase from the current 5,500 naira to 10,000 naira per crate, forcing many Nigerians to abandon the commodity. To this end, stakeholders in the country are appealing to the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, declare a state of emergency on egg production in the country. Meanwhile, residents of Jos say they no longer include eggs in their meals because they are no longer affordable.
Well, egg is not affordable for me because I'm a student and then I can't afford to buy it. Now for me to eat egg, it's better for me to buy something else and eat because I'm a student.
Because now egg and everything have changed. Before we can eat more than 2 to 3, but now even 1 you cannot take it.
The issue of egg, it has become a challenge now, because before it's something that even a common one can afford it, but now for someone to eat egg is based on who you are.
The hike in the price of the commodity is not only affecting consumers, but egg dealers and retailers who say the current state of the business is forcing many to abandon it. Egg business is no longer flourishing. Prior to this moment, with 200,000 naira, you can supply egg in large quantity. But now, the story is different. You must have millions of naira to enjoy the business. The price of eggs is really threatening our business. Before now, if you come to my shop, everywhere was filled with eggs. Sometimes we had to move the eggs to our houses because there wasn't enough space to keep them. But today, we cannot supply such quantity because the product is very expensive. Josephine Otiedobo, a poultry farmer in Jos, explained the difficulties they are facing in the business.
And you want to feed no go allow you to talk. I used to do the buy the feed the time where we buy a bag of feed 240 naira each. But now, if you want to buy a bag of feed, you prepare 20-something thousand, 24, 25.
She lamented that the high cost of production has impacted her ability to sustain the business.
Favor that made me still there for the business. Many of my colleagues have dropped out. And if you can see, I have many houses, how many halls, but there's nothing inside. You can enter inside now. I don't have any chicken now. Before I used to manage 10 to 12,000 beds. If we are pushing this one out, already we have another new one where you are building. But now it's only this small hall because of the cost of things. Before now we are buying. When I started the farm, I used my money to buy new plates, 25 naira. 25 naira each, with the bonus of one each 50. But now, if you want to buy a plate now, it's up to 900 and.
Egg dealers and poultry farmers have attributed the difficulties to fuel subsidy removal, appealing to the federal government to rescue the situation. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Now, stakeholders in the nation's food value chain have advocated the need to adopt an innovative governance model as a pathway to address the menace of food insecurity in the country. They spoke on the heels of the revelation by the World Food Programme, WFP, that the number of food insecure Nigerians increased significantly from 66.2 million in the first quarter of the year to 100 million in the first quarter of 2024. With 18.6 million facing acute hunger and 43.7 million Nigerians showing crisis level or above crisis level hunger coping strategies as of March 2024. Noel Sampson has more in this report.
Nigeria is facing significant food security challenges for the second year running. At the heart of the crisis is low agricultural productivity, which has been compounded by the decreasing size of cultivatable farms, inadequate use of agricultural inputs such as fertilizers and pesticides, and unpredictable weather conditions, waste especially in the cost of transporting food to the markets, among others. How to address these and other challenges in the sector has been the question on the lips of many stakeholders.
Technology does a lot of things. It improves efficiency, it reduces costs, it provides for a wider variety of capacity for any sort of production. So as long as we continue to do manual, it's likely to be more expensive and inefficient and time consuming. But if you adopt technology, both in production using mechanization, both in processing use of cold chains and all of that, and in logistics, it's likely to see a significant boost in production, and which will eventually lead to price reduction as well.
The need for an efficient railway system, we are yet to have that in Nigeria, and it's one major thing that I want the government to focus on. If you have efficient and effective railway train network that can run from the southern part of Nigeria up to the north, it will further reduce the reliance on our road networks that are even poor at the moment.
You need to have the right networks. You need to connect with the right people in terms of who your customers are, who your investors are, and who your collaborators are.
The stakeholders also highlighted measures the government can put in place to enhance food security and agricultural productivity, especially in farming communities.
Primarily, about 70% of what we consume is being produced by the smallholders farmers. So what policies can we do to look at them to really reach to the primary smallholders farmers? So we have to look at the policies, a policy that can give access to markets, policies that can give access to incentives and grants and loans.
There are a lot of policies already that we've developed to support the development of our food systems in Nigeria. I think what we need now is really auditing the policies we have and ensuring that we have the right implementation framework to ensure that we implement whatever we've put into those policies.
As a food scientist, there is so much that we can do with our cassava, where we fortify the flours, we fortify and create new functional industrial ingredients.
Some effects of food insecurity can be undernourishment and famine, a rise in food prices, civil unrest, and environmental issues such as soil erosion and water pollution, hence the need to address the menace. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Arm of the Nigerian exchange group NGX RegCo has suspended trading the shares of Owando PLC effective Thursday, October 24. This was disclosed in a notice to trading license holders signed by the head issuer regulation department, Gostan Iweneke, on Thursday. The Johannesburg Stock Exchange suspended trading in Owando shares in March due to its inability to meet the extended deadline to publish its 2022 audited year-end results. The company, which is listed both on the NGX and the JSE, also failed to meet the deadline to publish its interim results for 2023 as of time of the suspension. However, the suspension was lifted in June. In the latest development, the NGX RegCo said the indigenous oil firm had failed to submit its audited financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2023. In a corporate notice filed with the NGX earlier in October, Owando blamed the delay on the recent acquisition of the Nigerian Ajib Oil Company. The deal was completed on August 22nd, 2024. Away from Nigeria, authorities in Norway say a train carrying up to 70 passengers on Thursday derailed in the country's northern region, injuring several people on board. Joint Rescue Coordination Center of Northern Norway, JRCCNN, said in a post on X the extent of the damage was still unclear. The train was headed to the northern town of Bodø when it derailed, with images from the scene showing the locomotive and the first of 5 carriages having slid down an incline next to the track. A police official told broadcaster TV2 that they believed they had managed to get everyone off the train, but they did not have a passenger manifest. According to authorities and witnesses, big boulders could be seen on the tracks in front of the train, indicating that a landslide may have caused the derailment. In sports, 35-woman delegation of the Algeria senior women national football team has arrived in Lagos ahead of the international friendly matches with 9-time African champions Nigeria on Saturday and Tuesday. Both teams will clash at the Remo Star Sports Complex Ikenne from 3 p.m. on Saturday, 26 October. The second match scheduled for the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Lagos on Tuesday, 29 October from 4 p.m. Head coach Justin Madugu said on Thursday that he's expecting a masterclass performance from the Super Falcons, who impressed at last year's FIFA World Cup finals in Down Under and made a return to the Women's Olympic football tournament this summer after a 16-year absence. The two matches stem memories of the Aisha Buhari Women's Tournament held in Lagos in September 2021, which is also the last time the Super Falcons played Grade A friendly matches on home soil. Madugu's squad has a large contingent of home-based professionals, with only 6 overseas-based players invited. That wraps up news updates at this time. For more of our news programs and documentaries, do to follow us on our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Shamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us at this time.